After nearly 3 decades of faithful service to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC, our Deputy Director General, Mrs Francisca Ashitey-Odunton, is bidding farewell to the corporation. She has now been appointed High Commissioner to Kenya. As she bows out of media work and steps into the world of diplomacy, GBC 24 has put together this piece in her honor.
God says I am, what he says I am, where he says I'm at.
This was done in consultation with the registered parties.
Francisca Ashitey-Odunton, the first ever woman to be made Deputy Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
Management wishes to congratulate all staff. I must commend our staff for working hard.
She has over 2 decades experience as a broadcaster with the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. She joined the corporation in 1990 as a senior production assistant attached to the production division. Some of her colleagues at the time recollect some of their very fond memories when she first joined the corporation.
For many years, until she rose to become Deputy Director General, Francisca Ashitey-Odunton, for more than 2 decades, would rush out of the old newsroom, as we call it now at GBC, into the studio where the news used to be broadcast from. Whilst the work was done here, they would usually run out anytime they were running against time into the studio where the news would be broadcast from. And this is where most of the action on GTV and GBC TV in those days, when Francisca and Co started broadcasting at the time that GBC was the only TV station. And many of her colleagues say before she even rose to become Deputy Director General, she was very humble.
I remember a very slim Francisca when she joined GBC. Okay, she had height, so I cannot say she was tiny. But compared to me, I was slim, and Francisca was slimmer. I remember I was then a duty continuity announcer, and she had to come and understudy me. So she walked in, sat down, she looked quiet, but I later realized she wasn't the quiet type.
It was a place full of solidarity. You had Mama Lou, you have Mr. Beffia Pinty, you had Bobby, Mr. Bobby, and then of course you had the late Black Power. Black Power symbolized, the almighty newsroom, and you had Nano Heninto, David Ampofo, Abnakonedu Ampofo. All those guys were around. So the newsroom really was home. Was home and was an office, because it was one big family. And well, we enjoyed each other's company.
Auntie Franca, she knows when she was in London, I came there, spent a whole time with her. She cooked for me, did everything for me, and now she's heading, getting a new appointment. And I know that immediately she leaves, she's going to remember me, and I'll follow her to that same thing that she did for me in London.
She's a happy-go-lucky person. She's affable. She doesn't, you won't find Francisca, she was very, very respectful, but she's happy-go-lucky, playful. You give her any job, she will do it. If you look at her demeanor, you think that, oh, she will not go and do it, but she'll quickly go and do it. She doesn't play with her time. As a newsreader, she will listen to all criticisms. As a reporter, when there's something wrong with her, she will change. She was duty conscious, but she was also playful.
And those were the days when, according to those who have been working with her ever since she came to GBC, she would attach so much importance and urgency to her job that very few mistakes were seen and heard on TV. This is the exact spot where the news set would usually be erected, the spot where Francisca Ashitey-Odunton used to present the news. And I recall my own experience. My very first time of reading the news on GTV in those days was with Francisca Ashitey-Odunton, and a smock-wearing Nodna was given a cloth to wear. I had some difficulties, but she said to me, "You will be fine." And guess what? I was just fine on that occasion.
Good evening, the news in detail. One of the most important national policy issues facing every country today is finding the balance between her population and the resources available to sustain it. Well, there's been no change in the weather pattern, so let's hear what the weatherman has to say.
Well, continue to be cloudy with few thunderstorm activities occurring over the northern sector of the country.
And so we bring you the late news at 10 o'clock. Have a good evening.
I remember once she came, I think I had cooked some fish stew, and then I served her too. When she finished, she said, "Barbara, the food is not nice." And that is how Francisca is, frank. Instead of trying to, I would have said, "It's not bad. I enjoyed it." When in actual fact, I know I didn't enjoy it, but she would tell you straight to the face, "Barbara, flowing warm."
As for the food there, we shared food. Auntie Aquilin's rice, the kenke from, and then the chicken from papaya and cheese, and we're eating as a group, like body house kind of living, and everybody went home. We're parties, it was cool.
She was first appointed Deputy Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, the only woman to have occupied that position in November 2013. She was subsequently made the Acting Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in May 2016. Today, she has been appointed Ghana's High Commissioner to Kenya.
The Deputy Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs Francisca Ashitey-Odunton, has been appointed Ghana's High Commissioner to Kenya.
I have to forget it going, you know. It's always been like that. Give it a push, you can handle it.
You do the highlights at all. I told her what to do. And that was it for me. And I'll never forget that. And it's always been with me. So thank you. Thank you. So what's up? What's up? You are from the newsroom. Yes. Your home. Yes. And your home. Where your roots are. Yes.
And so we bring you the late news at 10 o'clock. Have a good evening.